this story forward. We now joined by Pratip Chaudhuri, the former chairman of SBI. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhuri, for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. So PNB coming out with its public list of willful defaulters. It's quite a jump. If you look at the number of willful defaulters as of December 2014, that stood at 345. That's gone up to 764 in September of 2015. Even the amounts, there is a huge jump. In December 2014, it was 7,156 crore rupees. That is now at September 2015 at 9,203 crore rupees. Mr. Chaudhuri, obviously a huge jump in the willful defaulter category. What can we expect next? Are you convinced that PNB is going to go after all of these willful defaulters, seize their assets and recover proceeds?
It's not a question. Secondly, I am not privy to the details of the status. It is not fair for me to comment. But whether willful or not, PNB will go after them. There is no doubt about it. But this development came from a feeling that there are two kinds of people who default on the loan. One is due to, difficult business conditions, not being able to make profits, which is an industry-wide epidemic. And there are some who, in spite of being in reasonable good profits and others, are trying to, not pay the bank's dues. So there are 6 or 7 criteria on which RBI standardized that if these or any of these or 1 or 2 of these are satisfied, then they should be classified as willful defaulters. And any defaulter, you can do further financing. But in willful defaulter, no bank should be doing fresh financing. So that
but Mr. Chaudhuri, what I wanted to also ask you was that is this not going to lead to more legal troubles? For example, the willful defaulters will now get embroiled in legal in the court saying that we're not willful. On what basis have the banks decided to call us willful? So isn't that going to delay the whole process of recovery?
No, it will not. It will not. Why do you, taking the side of the willful defaulter and trying to dissuade banks? Which court?
I'm not trying to take anyone's side, Mr. Chaudhuri. We've already seen Kingfisher do that.
Which court has said that if he's a willful defaulter, I'll take longer time to deliver the judgment? Where are you conjuring up these things that it will delay?
No, what I'm saying is that once you distinguish between a defaulter and a willful defaulter,
that's right,
the entire process of recovering proceeds could get delayed because the willful defaulter will say, I'm not a willful defaulter.
No, because then there are mechanisms. He can come and represent that his view that he is not a willful defaulter for XYZ reason. And the bank, cannot declare willful defaulter at the junior most level. It has to be done at a fairly senior level who take a more detailed view of this. But, it is to separate the wheat from the chaff, that those who are defaulters due to business conditions, maybe we can give a more supportive stand by extending them some further or bridge finance. But those are willful defaulters, there would be no breaking bread with them and for any bank. So please, banks,
Mr. Chaudhuri,
be on alert. Yeah.
You're saying there'll be no breaking bread, they will not get fresh loans, other banks will stop doing business.
True.
What I also want to ask you is, when you look through this list, you do see some obvious misses, and their absence is conspicuous by that. For example, we do know about the big business houses that have been defaulting, but they don't make it into this PNB list. So could it be that perhaps the bank is going after the smaller fish and not after the bigger fish?
Discussion, before please familiarize yourself that what kind of criteria. Willful defaulter is one who removes the security pledged to the bank without, making good the money. But that is different from somebody who has run the business and made into a loss. So therefore, for example, some diamond company, what happens is he sends his diamond to his buyer, and the buyer does not pay, and he does not go after the buyer. So bank can say that, look here, these goods were hypothecated to us. You have given it away to somebody without taking proper security, and you have not paid back the bank. So therefore, you are a willful defaulter. That is very different from somebody who, sells the product, but the market conditions being depressed, he makes a loss. So is it not necessary to make a distinction between the two?
Okay, you're standing by with this whole business of distinguishing between willful and a regular defaulter. But Mr. Chaudhuri, what were banks doing by not taking personal guarantees? You took this example of the diamond company. You have Winsome Diamonds that has been mentioned in the
That does
PNB
not
list
mean
today.
personal.
You're hearing about how
No.
Enforcement
No,
Directorate is
please,
going after
please,
that.
you are
How
confusing
banks
the
have given
issues
they owe
totally.
banks 67,000 crore
No,
rupees.
you are
What were banks
confusing the
doing?
issues totally, and you are assuming that in this case of a willful defaulter, personal guarantee has not been taken. Of course, it would have been taken, unless it is a listed company. So, willful defaulter does not mean personal guarantee was not taken, and you are making it so simple that if you take the personal guarantee, tomorrow he comes up with the money. It is not like that.
Obviously, it's not simple. That is why, we are seeing the NPAs where they are. We're seeing the list
No,
of
that's
defaulters
right.
where they
But
are.
even the TV channels are making losses. So if they were borrowing, they could also
Mr.
be
Chaudhary,
making
we are
NPAs.
not the bad guys here. We are not the
No,
bad
that's
guys. We
right.
are not the
But
money lenders over here.
business plans don't work out always as projected. So there could be slippages in the business plan.
Okay, point taken. There could be slippages, but obviously
That's
some things
right.
have really
The
gone
willful
wrong. If there's
defaulter,
so many
you
zeros
don't come to
in the
know.
list of defaulters.
That's
Okay,
right.
so you're saying the personal guarantees is not
Again,
an
as I
issue.
said,
You don't see.
as I said, please, any criticism has to be based on an alternative.
But do you think banks could have gone
not on a
faster
rhetoric.
when you look at the
You
various
are going on a
instruments that are
rhetoric,
out there?
You suggest an alternative. You suggest
No, I'm
an
asking Mr.
alternative which
Chaudhary,
is better than the current arrangement.
I'm not the Reserve Bank governor, Mr. Chaudhary. I'm asking you, do
No,
you think
but
banks
as
could have
even a
gone faster, be
commentator,
it CDR, be it SDR, or other avenues that are available, or the personal guarantees?
No.
Do you think the
Willful
PSBs and
defaulter,
other
we are
banks
not
could have
supposed
gone
to break
faster?
bread. No. Willful defaulter, there would be no compromise, there would be no this thing, because willful defaulter is a person who has not displayed the required integrity.
What I was saying is that before we reach this entire stage, do you think banks should have used the various financial instruments and, seized assets and tried to recover proceeds?
This is one of them. This is one of the, additional instruments to recover. That you put them off credit, so become more pushed. So they come up and do a settlement with the bank. This is one of the instruments to bring them round to the table.
This is also PNB's own initiative, Mr. Chaudhary. We understand this has nothing to do with the case pending before the...
initiative. All banks are doing. Maybe the list has not become public.
So you're saying all banks will be doing this, not because of what the Supreme Court said?
All banks, have a committee which examines each case and then gives a hearing to the party and then decides whether he should be categorized as a willful defaulter or not. So it has not come from anywhere, and it is not a PNB invention.
Okay, so you think others will follow suit. Mr. Chaudhary, my final question to you, since we are in budget week, do you think there's anything the finance minister can do or any policy direction that he can provide when it comes to this entire menace of NPAs, of bad loans in budget 2016?
I don't know. If he has a magic wand, then yes. But if he doesn't have, then no.
Okay, so I don't think he has a magic wand. So besides recapitalization, it would be interesting to see.
And if he had one, it would have been used by now. Which finance minister would like his banking system to be burdened with NPAs? Not by choice. Chalo, sir.
Chalo. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary, for joining us with that. So.